Happy honkings. Welcome to Vulpi Snapshot Review, brought to you from abroad this time, courtesy of an arrest warrant over some kind of kidnapping charge. Those fart-sniffing federal fucktards from the FBI can't get me in Cuba. On with the show. Folks, there are 5 facts of life. Vulpi can't count. Taxation is theft. Grover Cleveland smelt like burned hair. And Mojang are Swedish skullfucks. The bastards released 20W22A on a Friday of all days, completely screwing over my schedule. I can deal with being chased by federal authorities, not the first time it's happened, probably not the last either, but this is unacceptable. The snapshot itself was a bit on the small side as they usually are nowadays, due to 1.16 being on the tail end of its development cycle. This does not mean it's completely insignificant, however. I will, however, be skipping over the feature segment, however, as none of the features added here have any chance of affecting us. I should note, though, that piglins now have a chance to dance on the grave of a hoglin after brutally murdering it, though, so that's nice. Bells seem to be the main focus of changes this time around, as they now follow the same placement rules as lanterns, allowing them to be placed on more surfaces than before. The list of blocks that can now be placed on will be spat out by me shortly. Like as in right now. Yeah. Anvils, brewing stands, chains, chest, ender chest, and rods, fences, flower pots for some fucking reason, glass panes, grindstones, hoppers, iron bars, mob heads, pistons, trap chest, and walls. Not bad, eh? Mobs were also a large chunk of the changes this update, although only one of them really does something for us, if anything. Players are now unable to mount another entity while holding down their crouch key. Okay. The /clear command was tweaked and now works with items in the inventory crafting grid. Minor optimizations have been made to collision detection. I'm not sure if this is the game runs faster type or the collisions are better type of optimization, but I'll take it. Changes to pathfinding were made involving catched block type lookups and collisions, resulting in increased performance. Yahoo. There's also a weird change listed that just states experimental changes to graphics rendering. If my knowledge of code speak is correct, this translates to, we shut out something half finished, fucking deal with it. Support has been added in allowing shaders to access something known as the depth buffer. This should allow for more sophisticated shaders with a higher quality, although I expect these new shaders to eat up CPUs like me unsupervised in a Best Buy. That is truly the tastiest element. It makes my brain feel all tingly. That is all for the changes. I must say the pathfinding tweak excites me quite a bit. I'm unsure of how much a performance gain this will be, but anything's good, really. At this rate, 1.16 will be better for performance and bug fixing than 1.15, which was explicitly advertised as a performance and bug fix update. Nice, Mojang. Oh, sorry, Mojang Studios. Speaking of bug fixes, that is what is up next. Mojang fixed an insane 117 bugs this time around. Gonna break character for a second and say this is outright wonderful. Kudos, Mojang. A good chunk of these deal with 1.15 and earlier, and as always, I'll be going over the most noteworthy of these. MC4065 was fixed. This bug caused messages and commands sent while in a bed to not be remembered in send history. MC118594 was impaled by a stale baguette. The real crime here is that the baguette was allowed to go stale in the first place. This bug was caused by a removal of a file named log4j2 plugins.dat, which caused a slowdown of 3 seconds on startup. The game should now start faster now that the file has been re-added. The snapshot also fixed a whole host of rendering issues, many of which I myself have spotted while playing on the server. Let's go over these now X bugs rapidly. MC161889, which caused clouds to not render behind transparent blocks. MC161917, which caused particles to not render underwater behind water or other transparent blocks. MC162340 and MC162341, which caused issues with world border rendering with clouds and transparent blocks. MC162346, which caused clouds to fail to render behind transparent blocks. There's a couple dozen more bug fixes like this, but they're all generally the same thing. They all tackle rendering issues with transparent blocks or clouds or stuff like that. We are not done yet though. MC163910 was also fixed, which caused hand animations to sometimes play twice when you had high ping. That is one less thing for Frosty to deal with. That is all for that monumentally large patch list. These buggy bastards shall not be missed. That is all for this snapshot. We'll be back after a commercial break, at which point I'll read off the community responses and try to only lose a couple of IQ points while doing so. Not sure if I have that many left to spare. I'll see you then.
Electrify with you, electrify. Electrify with you.
Good day, I'm Kitty Catwoman231 in the MBS newsroom. Here's what's happening. The first Infrastructure Staff Meeting, or ISM, took place on Sunday. The new miniature GSM format will take place monthly in between general staff meetings and only consider project and event proposals and other similar topics normally dealt with quickly at the end of GSMs, so that members won't have to wait until monthly GSMs for these proposals to be reviewed. Several new MRT line extensions are opening at this month's GSM. Godsell Train has extended the MRT Plains and Mesa lines, and Vicky Torrey has extended the MRT Northern line. Applications to claim stations close on June 12th, and stations will be allocated at the GSM on June 14th. CCC9's extension of the MRT Taiga line is still under construction. At the GSM, staff will discuss requiring the relocation of conversations on political and controversial topics in-game to project channels. Frumple announced at Sunday's ISM that he had added a topic for the June GSM to consider whether these conversations should be moved to a project channel upon request, or whether they should be relegated to project channels altogether and not allowed in main chat. Stay with MBS for live coverage of the GSM on June 14th for the results of that. As approved at the May GSM a few weeks ago, a Pride Parade is currently present in Central City for the month of June, organized by Adult Disneyland. Members are free to build floats along the parade route running along Fairfax Street from the Central City heliport to the northwest corner of Central Park. Big Brother 5 began yesterday. The game is a social competition game in which players make alliances with each other and scheme to be the last remaining in the cast following challenges that determine the balance of power in each episode. Skyjumper Talon is the first head of household. He has not made nominations for players to evict as of the taping of this broadcast, but he has until tomorrow to do so. Major League Spleef's 4th season is underway. So far, Tits and Saki, represented by Frog, has the most points, while Salina, represented by Vicky Tori, has the highest winning percentage. MBS is broadcasting weekly scheduled and unscheduled MLS games and will be broadcasting the playoffs in full. The MRT Golf Association's Rays Stroopwafels Open was held in New Amsterdam on Saturday. The 18-hole golf tournament was won by Needham NL, the only player to end with a net negative score. The tournament was broadcast live by MBS. The Summer Olympics will be held on Saturday and Sunday at 12 p.m. GMT, hosted in Titsansaki and Hendon. It will be Airplane 320's second Summer Olympics after the 2018 Summer Olympics in Alekna Bay and the cancelled 2019 Summer Olympics in Laclede, and his 6th Olympics overall. That event will be broadcast live by the Box Television Network, a sister network to MRT News Channel. The 16th Taco Burrito-a-thon is this Saturday at 7 p.m. GMT, being hosted in Kanto. The Taco Burrito-a-thon is a multi-event sporting competition run by Skelly Zomperman, recurring since 2013. MBS will be broadcasting that event live, as well as the 17th and 18th Taco Burrito-a-thons in Scarborough and Waterville this summer. And Time to Make My Move is planning a second hotel building competition similar to the one previously held in Sagavsal in 2018. Staff approved the contest and its funding in principle at the ISM on Sunday, but some details have been deferred to the June GSM. The contest is expected to take place in July. That's the latest from MBS News. Stay tuned. MBS News is producing a new episode of our Today program, scheduled for release this Sunday. From MBS News in Central City, I'm Kitty Catwoman 231. Now back to Vulpi's Snapshot review.
Hello and welcome back. We've got multiple community answers to respond to this time around, and as far as I know, none of them got sent to Chief, which is probably why we're not drowning in shitposts right about now. For those that need their brain boxes jogged, the question was as follows. For those of you who have been a bit squeamish about playing survival mode, like I meaning Chief, have, will the 1.16 update get you to switch back over to survival and give it another shot? Why or why not? First up, an actual answer from Elite Neon. Remember folks, threats do work, and this is proof. Unfortunately, his response was padded to all hell, the point where I'm honestly envious at his ability to stall. Cutting through all that, he sent in the following. Dear Mr. Vulpicula, Elite Neon here. I hereby issue this official response to the request for comment issued in today's episode. Firstly, I would feel much inclined to re-up my interest in MRT Survival regardless of the 1.16 update. I feel that the new MRT Survival could be a community-built city using all of the new materials and more. Secondly, in response to Chief,
What never?
No, never.
What never?
Hardly ever.
He's hardly ever sick at sea.
Sincerely, Elite Neon. Glad to see you're interested, although you didn't quite mention if 1.16 had you more hyped or not. You just mentioned that you were generally wanting to try it again. Either way, hopefully that survival server comes once we update, so that sort of project can be launched. Also, Yoshi, you can tick your mention the survival server box. As for the message for Chief, I'll assume my best Chief impression to compensate for the lack of Chief. I live in Minnesota! Well, there's your answer. Good luck extrapolating anything of value from that. Next, we've got an answer from the show's editor. Only took me loudly complaining about the amount of answers to get it, too. He had the following to say. No. My enjoyment comes from creating things, and I've never done survival mode in a short while before becoming bored. It's why I play on a creative server. It's fun to occasionally play survival, like that unofficial survival server we played on during the Zeta migration, but even that I became bored with before the migration had even ended. Yeah, that seems to be the running theme. Survival's good for short bursts and when there's something new to do, as in the massive amounts of nether changes in 1.16. Also, you can create things in survival, you just have to plan for a kamikaze shrub to blow it up after. and before, and midway through. As reliable as clockwork, we've got another answer from So Puffball. He wrote in with the following. No, and unlikely, as I for some reason just can't get in survival. Probably just isn't my sort of thing. I just prefer to build stuff, I guess. Stuff like andesite rose, you fucking heretic. Either way, even if you are a heretic, it's understandably not an experience for everyone, no matter how many shiny baubles end up attached with all these updates. I can get why the core gameplay loop for survival would turn people off as well. It's an understandable thing. That is all the responses we got. As per usual, I'll be asking a question for you to respond to. This time though, I'll be turning it into some kind of little game of sorts. Closest person to the number gets, I don't know, $30? It's like a gumball guessing contest, but better because I can rig it. How many snapshots do you think we'll have left until 1.16's release? Not counting pre-release stuff, of course. Just the weekly things. Please submit your guesses to my Discord account, which can be reached at #0075. One guess per person. With that, we'll be wrapping up this episode. I'll see you all next week, should Mojang release another snapshot, and should the Cuban authorities continue to snuff the feds. Praise be to Castro's glorious communist beard. And Fox out. You heard the man. Crazy psychopathic bastard he is.
Excuse you.
I said you had very nice teeth.
What does that have anything to do with it? Everyone, please send help. Are we doing another take, or what are we doing here?
No, we'll keep that one.
Okay, good.
I tried to speak and I just immediately swallowed a bunch of it.
Oh no.
With that, we'll be wrapping up this episode. I'm laughing at my own laughter now. I think that's the worst part.
Oh no. I hate when that happens.
With that, we'll be wrapping up this episode. I'll see you all next week should Mojang release another snapshot.